Hello everyone and welcome back to a new card video. Today I'll be making some quick Christmas cards, and the stamps that I'm using today are this background stamp from Simon Says. This is called Trees Background, and another cute stamp set, and this is from Memory Box and it is called Poinsettia Piece. I'm gonna be working on some watercolor cardstock. I have cut down some Canson Montval watercolor cardstock, and I'll be doing some embossing. So I'm just gonna prepare my surface with a bit of anti-static powder. I have this EK Success powder tool, and because I don't want to stamp all the background, I'm gonna mask the bottom side and the top side. And I have here a sheet of paper that I'm just gonna tear off with my fingers. So I'm just gonna place this on top like this and leave open only one piece of the stamp. For inking, I'm using the Simon Says clear embossing ink, and I'm gonna carefully ink my stamp. Okay, and I'm gonna take my watercolor cardstock and just press it into the stamp, and I'm gonna remove the paper here, and I want this to be stamped on the top side of the card, so I'm gonna be placing this on top and just press. And I'm gonna do this for two more of the cards that I'll be making. Cards that I'm making today are very simple and easy. I'm gonna be embossing this with the Ranger White super fine powder. And I have here some powder that I don't want on my card, so I'm just gonna brush this away. So now that I've embossed all my panels, I'm gonna be pulling out my watercolors, and I'm using the Mission Gold Watercolors. I just have to spritz some water on top so I can add a bit of moisture. And I'm just gonna add water. This is a very simple technique, but it's also very fun to experiment with. The result is never expected. It's always a surprise to see how watercolors mix and react with each other. You can use any watercolors that you have. I'm gonna pick a bit of this Viridian color. This is my favorite color. It's like a very dark teal. And I'm gonna pick one more green, a lighter one, and just drop it on top. Now I'm gonna put this aside to dry a bit, and then I will just hit it with my heat gun. For my next card, I will use two different colors. I do have my water a bit green here, but hopefully I won't make a mess. I'm gonna be using a purple, and a pink, And I think I'm gonna be adding a bit of blue. I'm gonna also leave this aside to dry. And for the last panel, I think I'm gonna be using a different medium, and I'm gonna try the Nouveau Mousse and see how this, I know it reacts with water, I just want to see how it looks on this watercolor cardstock. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna add water, and then I'm just gonna pick a bit of the color with my wet brush and drop it in. This is not as consistent as watercolors are, so it's not gonna travel like watercolor, but it gives a nice shimmer. And I'm gonna leave this aside to dry as well. Now for my next step, I'm gonna be doing some more embossing, and I'm using a piece of vellum, and the stem set that I'm using is this one from Memory Box, and I will be embossing this beautiful poinsettia, and I'm stamping a bunch of them as I want to try and layer them and give them more dimension. So the first powder that I'm using is this Enchanted Gold from Ranger. I received this in a Simon Says kit. I believe it was this year or maybe last year. I never used it. I just tried it out the first time I got the kit, and I was a bit disappointed and thought that I will never have any chance or any type of project to use it. But I've tested out last night onto vellum, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a sparkly embossing powder. It's not too obvious on regular paper, white paper, as I have tested it at first, but on vellum is adorable. So I'm gonna be using this for 3 of these poinsettias. Now you can see it here. It's gorgeous. I really love it, and I'm happy that I can finally use it. I'll also make some poinsettia white. And I'm gonna try a new embossing powder. This is from Tonic. It's the Nouveau embossing powder, and this color is Purple Haze. I think I'm gonna be using this for the purple card that I made. And I really like this purple here. It's a beautiful color when it's embossed. Okay, so I'm gonna be trimming these out, and we'll see you once everything is cut out. And here are my poinsettias all cut out. I also embossed some regular gold ones. My panels now are all dry. I just let them air dry, and I've noticed that the colors dry out a bit more intense than how they dry when I use my heat gun. So I'm just gonna assemble all my poinsettias, and I will be using these foam dots. These are 2mm foam dots. I'm not using liquid glue because it kind of warps my vellum, and I don't want that. So for the glittery ones, I will be using a white one in the middle. and the other glittery one at the bottom. Now before adhering these, I will be stamping my sentiment. And the stamp set that I'm using for my sentiment is another one from Memory Box. And this is called Botanical Christmas Tree. And I will be using the Merry Christmas here. Okay, and now that I have everything embossed, I can adhere my poinsettias. And this is my favorite one. I really love this embossing powder, how it looks on vellum. And you can see that I mentioned here that those foam dots add. It's not too much, but it's a bit of extra interest. Okay, so I'm gonna be mounting these onto my card bases. So in the end, I've added a small gold gem at the center of each poinsettia, and also some clear and gold sequins. Here are all the cards that I've made. Very quick and easy, and using just a couple of supplies. I really love this one. I love the green color combo with the gold sparkle from that embossing powder. I hope I gave you some inspiration. I thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you soon. Bye bye.